and it's during the last week. And this is what Luke says. On one of the days when Jesus was teaching the people on the teaching steps, sitting like you are now, on one of the days when Jesus was teaching the people in the temple and proclaiming the good news, the chief priests, the legal experts, the elders approached him and they said, "Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Who gave you the authority to teach here?" And he said, "I have a question for you. Tell me, was John's baptism of heavenly or of human origin?" And they discussed among themselves. Think about the people at the Western Wall where we just came from, the men gathering around together. So they discussed among themselves. You know, if we say it's of heavenly origin, he'll say, "Well, why didn't you believe him?" But if we say it's of human origin, all the people will stone us to death because they're convinced John was a prophet. They answered that they didn't know where it came from. So Jesus said, "Well, then neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing what I am doing." Then Jesus told them a parable and said, "A certain man had a vineyard, and he rented it to tenant farmers and then went on a trip for a long time. And when it was time, he sent his servants to collect from the tenants, his share of the fruit of the vineyard. The tenants sent him away, beaten and empty-handed. So the man sent another servant, but they beat him too, and treated him disgracefully and sent him away empty-handed as well. And he sent a third servant. They wounded this servant and threw him out. The owner of the vineyard said, 'Well, what'll I do? I know. I'll send my son, whom I love dearly. Perhaps they will respect him.' But when they saw him, they said to each other, 'Look, here comes the heir. Let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours.' So they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. So, what then do you think the owner of the vineyard will do to those wicked tenants? He will come, and he will destroy those tenants and give the vineyard to someone else." When the people heard this, they said, "May this never happen." And staring at them, Jesus said, "Then what is the meaning of this text of Scripture? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. And everyone who falls on that stone will be crushed, and the stone will crush the person it falls on." Then the legal experts and the chief priests wanted to arrest him right then, right here on the teaching steps. But they knew, because they knew that he was telling this parable about them, but they were afraid of the people. Friends, the reading of the Scripture for you.